Hey everyone, and welcome to John Talks Indian Cinema. I am your host, the Indian Cine-MANIAC. I want to welcome all you over 1,460 subscribers, getting ever so close to that 1,500 magic number. Before I hit the really big numbers, but we're getting there slowly but surely. So I'm doing this at the beginning now. Not that it makes a difference, but if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the notification button, hit the like button if indeed you like it. And at the end of the video, if you're happy with it, please share it with somebody because I am working very diligently to build the Maniac community. Okay, so the film that I am reviewing today is a recent release. It was recommended. I love this name too, by the way, at Matt Murdock 6720. Matt Murdock 6720. By day, he's an Indian Cine-MANIAC. By evening, he's Daredevil, the man without fear. So I love that name. So the film he recommended was Padakkalam. Padakkalam from 2025, a comedy thriller, not horror, wasn't horror, but I guess a thriller is the right word for it. It's directed by Manu Saraj, and I believe this was his directorial debut. And the only one that I've seen in this film from the cast, as far as I can tell, is Suraj Venjaramoodu, who I've actually seen in a couple of films, Empuraan, The Great Indian Kitchen, and Jana Mana Gana. Also, Sharafudheen, Sandeep Pradeep. That's quite a name. Sandeep Pradeep. Saif Bros, Arun Pradeep. No, don't know if there's any relation. And Arun Aja Kumar. And this is a Malayalam film. Okay. So I was told that this has a little bit of Jumanji in it. And it does, but not much. I mean, it's not like it's definitely not an Indian remake of Jumanji. But the story is about four nerdy friends. And I actually liked the nerd part of it. They're all wearing superhero t-shirts. Um, and they're good, and it's very contemporary. And they're in college. And the story basically is there is a professor at the school who is into black magic. And he has this book, or a game board is more accurate. Now, that thing kind of didn't make sense to me, the game board. Like what was the purpose of the game board? It just didn't make a lot of sense to me. But anyway, so he ends up being able to possess, or not possess isn't the right word. He can manipulate and control people. He has to get some of their DNA, blood, and once he gets that, he can control you. And some of that was kind of funny. You know, they're shaking their head, they're punching people, they're choking people. Well, he does it to a teacher played by Siraj. In fact, the teacher's name is Shaji. There's a lot of G's in this movie. Names. Saji, Renjith, Jathin. Um, so, and this movie came out. I don't think I could really spoil this movie. I don't think I could spoil it. So, oh wait, let me kill that because I know that annoys some people. Um, so he possesses a couple of people, and one kid sees him do this and has figured out that he's in black magic. They end up stealing this game board. And now he wants to exact revenge on the kids that took it. But before this happened, there was a teacher who was in line for promotion. And this black magic guy, played by Sharafudheen, Renjith, um, pushes him for the promotion and then possesses him and causes him to get fired to the point that you find out in a flashback he wanted to kill himself. Now, this is, it sounds heavy, but it's not. It's a funny movie. It's very funny, as a matter of fact. So now they find the game board, they figure out how to open it, and I won't get into those details. I'll leave that for you guys to figure it out. But they get the game board open, they start playing. Now what happens is Ranjith comes in as they're playing the game. And they roll the dice, and some funky looking dice. I've never seen dice like this before. They look like little metal things with dots on the side. Um, Now what happens is it's like an electromagnetic pulse, and three of them go flying. And the three that go flying are the teacher, Shaji, Renjith, and the main kid, I'll say, Jithin. They all get pushed back. Now what happens is they've all switched bodies. Okay. So now the fun really ensues. So how do we get our bodies back? Well, the only way you can do that is to finish the game. But one of them likes his new body and he doesn't really want to give it up. And then you find out one of the teacher, the first teacher, Saji, his wife is pregnant, but he's being possessed by the young kid. So the young kid says it's not mine, and the wife splashes him. So now they're just trying to get the game pieces, get the dice and the board, and get everyone together because the bodies can't go back till they finish the game. And then it ends the climax, which is actually pretty good. They're finishing the game after a big fight, climactic fight, and the bad guy, whose whose body is inhabited by Suraj, right? He was the, yeah. Right as they finish the game, he throws himself out the window, and you see it. You see him falling backwards. Just as they roll the dice, now everyone goes into their right bodies. So the bad guy goes into his body as he's hitting the ground. Okay, and then he doesn't die. He's in the hospital. That's a whole nother thing too. But the kids, I thought the young guys were really good. And the bad guy was played by Sharafudheen, Renjith. I actually liked him. He was good. And I thought the funniest thing in the movie was once they switched bodies, how differently they played their roles. So it was good the way they did it. Like they really became a different person. Even the young kid who ended up becoming the villain, possessed by the villain, was kind of nasty, right? Completely different from the way he was the entire movie. So I really like that. And the funniest scene in the film, I thought, so they're all wearing the superhero shirts, right? So they've got a plan to get the bad guy has the game board in a briefcase. So they got a briefcase that looks the same and they're going to swap it out. So they're going to do a blackout. And during the blackout, one of the guys in the Green Lantern shirt is going to switch it. Okay. So now one of the guys dressed up like the Flash is shutting off everything because he can't find the right fuse. They finally, excuse me, they finally get the one in the classroom where the teacher and the briefcase are. So it goes pitch black, except for the kid's Green Lantern shirt. The logo lights up, glow in the dark, and it's lighting up everything. It was really funny the way they did it. And the one kid's looking at him with the Superman costume, like, "What are you doing?" Well, look at that. It was like a light. Oh God, I can't believe. On the ocean there. I can't believe I can't think of the name. I'm completely lighthouse. The lighthouse. Really funny. So the story was actually pretty decent. I was expecting once they brought out the game board, I thought it was going to be Jumanji, but it wasn't. So I'm going to give the story a 3. Although I thought that the biggest weakness of the film was an explanation of the game. Now, they do this animated thing at the beginning with a voiceover that kind of explains some stuff, but I didn't get it. And the game board itself, the action on the game board, if you've seen Jumanji, you know how intricate that was. This one, it did stuff, but it didn't make a lot of sense. what they were doing. Like the game itself didn't make any sense. They threw it, some pieces moved, and then the movie was over. So that was kind of weak. I didn't like that. Now, as far as the performances go, I thought the performances were really good. I thought the two adults were good in this, especially when they switched roles. And you could tell, I mean, not, you could tell they were experienced actors where some of the younger guys weren't necessarily, but even they were good too. His friends, and there's a girl in it, but nothing role. It was really about the four guys and the two older guys. But the performances are actually pretty good. So for the type of film it is, I'm going to give the performances a 4. Very good, very funny, and very contemporary. Nothing. And Malayalam films are always pretty grounded, even in a movie like this. So I expect that. Now the songs, it was fine. I mean, there was only one big production number, and it was actually appropriate. The school was having some kind of event, and they were intercutting scenes between the giant performance and what was going on with the book. It was actually during the climax of the film. But the rest of the songs, they were fine. They were mostly incidental. It was always in the background. Um, so you know how I feel about that. So I gave the music a 3. Overall, this is a short film. It's 2 hours and 4 minutes. It's an easy watch. I was having a good time during it. I was interested in the characters. I loved when they switched roles. I thought that was the highlight of the film. So I'm going to give the performance the overall my overall verdict. I'm going to give a 4. I really enjoyed it. I think you'll like this movie. It's not it's like Chinese food. You're gonna love it watching it, and then you won't remember it tomorrow. Doesn't mean it was bad. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed my time watching the film. And I will also say this, and this is something that I'm loving because I've seen so many films, but they make references to other films that I am getting. Like they make a reference to the science fiction film 24 about the time travel. I got that. There's also, and I don't think I have the name right, Mural Murali, the Hindi superhero film that I saw and we reviewed on the old show. So that was a reference I got. There was a couple more. They brought up Fafa. So I'm digging that I catch all these references that I would never have gotten had I not watched these films. Okay, so that's it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section if you've seen it, if you're going to see it, if you have any interest in seeing it. Now, I'm not going to do a recommendation on this show because we are coming up to the 50th anniversary of the film Jaws, 1975's Jaws. Um, and I am a huge fan of that. In fact, I've done a couple of shows on Jaws on the channel. Not a lot of you are interested in that, but what can I tell you? Maybe if it was Hindi Jaws. I happen to think I recently watched it again, and I've seen it a lot. I happen to think it's one of the 10 best films I've ever seen. It's one of the top 5 ensemble acting performances I've ever seen. The three main guys in the cast are phenomenal. Now, also a little background. My cousin had a house on the vineyard, Martha's Vineyard, which is where it was filmed. Amity Island is Martha's Vineyard off the coast of Massachusetts, actually. And so I spent a lot of time in Martha's Vineyard, and there's a scene where the shark goes in the pond, and there's a bridge. We used to jump off that bridge. We called it the Jaws Bridge. Um, just a lot of great memories about that film. And again, it's one of those films that when it comes on, I always watch it. Whatever point I'm seeing it, I'll watch the rest of the movie, and it still holds up incredible. And I just watched a YouTube video of Steven Spielberg talking about the Jaws theme, and he even said that Jaws wouldn't be half as successful if not for the musical score by John Williams. And I have to agree with that because the whole thing about the shark, the mechanical shark, and I'm sure you've seen documentaries on it, it didn't work nearly like it was supposed to. So a lot of scenes that were supposed to have the shark didn't. And as a result of that, John Williams created this musical theme that represented the shark, and it made it so much more effective so that when you finally do see the shark. And I just saw this too by John Williams. In fact, the scene, Every time the shark is present, you hear the song, the theme, dun 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 dun. When it's something else, you don't. So like even when the kid with the fin in the water, you don't hear the Jaws theme. The one time they didn't do anything because now John Williams said, "I've conditioned you. Every time the shark is there, you hear the music." The one scene where it was silent was the most iconic line in the whole film is when Brody is throwing the chum out there. All of a sudden, the shark pops up. There's no music. It's silent. And then he walks back and says, "You're going to need a bigger boat." And John Williams said, "I conditioned you to think that." So that was a real scare. I love that. Great movie. And I'm telling you, if you've never seen it, see the movie. It's amazing movie. And it holds up incredibly well, even in the era of CGI. And there were times when the shark looked a little phony, but for the most part, I got to tell you something else. Here in the States, people would not go into the water after that movie came out. That's a fact. So that just a great film. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. I think you'll like it. Okay, so that's it. Once again, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the notification button, hit the like button, and please share. It's really the way we can build a Maniac community and get more eyes on the channel. Greatly appreciate it. Okay, all right, that's it. We'll talk to you soon on John Talks Indian Cinema with either a 10ish minute review or a 10ish minute trailer reaction. Thanks for watching. Dun 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 dun.